Hello there. I was distracted for a few days with the latest Teen Wolf news. Go check it out if you haven't seen what's happening currently. Now, though, I can turn my full attention to the gods of Teen Wolf. There are a bunch that get name-checked in the series, and at least one that still seems to be active in that universe. If you enjoy examining the canon and nostalgia of Teen Wolf, you should totally subscribe and join us on these weekly journeys back to Beacon Hills. Okay, before I get into it, I'm using a lot of illustrations from an Italian art book called Age of Pantheons. I would love nothing more than to sell you a copy of this book, but it's out of print. The whole thing is available to view online, though, and I've linked you to that. It is absolutely beautiful, and you should definitely check out the whole thing. First up in the Teen Wolf pantheon, the one god that makes me think the other gods must be real in this universe.
Tezcatlipoca.
Yeah, what she said. This hunk of Mesoamerican lore was a total badass who was said to have ruled over the first world known as Jaguar Sun. In the present world of the Aztecs, he had returned and defeated a big old feathered serpent, ended a golden age of prosperity, and reintroduced human sacrifice into the culture. Yeah, not a really great guy. The reason I think
Tezcatlipoca.
Yeah, him. The reason I think he actually existed in the Teen Wolf universe is because his temple actually worked. It de-aged a grown man into a teenager and stole the free will of an alpha werewolf with the simple application of an animal skull. That is powerful, godlike mojo. And all the stories suggest that Tezcatlipoca could assume a humanoid jaguar form, which could explain why his temple worked for Kate when she was also in that form. I don't know if he's still around, but he definitely was at one time and left his wonderful toys behind for Kate to pick up. From Mexico, we move a little further north into the spirit world of North American indigenous populations. Now, here is one of the cases where I consider the creatures and spirits we saw on the show to be wholly separate from and not dependent on any specific gods. From the Native American traditions, we get the Wendigo, which is said to be an evil spirit that endlessly hungers. It takes over a human that has done evil deeds or broken taboos, like cannibalism, and turns them into a monster. There is an argument to be made within the context of Teen Wolf that the Wendigo started way back in the timeline as a werewolf bite that went wrong in a very specific way that produced a very hungry caterpillar with shark's teeth. But we don't know enough about them really to even speculate. Also for North American tribes, we get the Skinwalkers, and again, we don't really know enough about their Teen Wolf version to speculate too far, and the Navajo who do know the real stories don't like to tell them to non-Navajo. I suppose I'm actually doing a great disservice to the entire culture, rambling on about it, but it was on the show, and it probably shouldn't be ignored. Skinwalkers seem to be akin to the Dark Druid we saw in Season 3. In this case, powerful medicine men and women who tipped too far toward evil and used their powers to harm instead of help the tribes. They are portrayed as powerful beings on the show with a command of the elements, an ability to create lifelike illusions, and a full understanding and some control of all things supernatural.
You'll stay and become one of us, a skinwalker. You'll walk with us under the sun, through the dust.
But again, they don't seem to be related to any specific god group. The same is true of Anukate, which in the real-world myth is considered to be a monster with two faces that paralyzes with fear. Old Doubleface isn't a god and not directly related to one that I could find. Now I'm up to the only Teen Wolf god that seems to actually still be active in the present day in Beacon Hills. That would be Odin, the father of Thor and head honcho in the Norse pantheon. We see proof of his existence indirectly with the Wild Hunt. Odin is a nasty bit of work, mean-tempered and bloodthirsty. He started the Wild Hunt way back in the deep dark before. Throughout history, the Ghost Riders sweep through the sky, riding a supernatural storm and collecting souls as they go. They got stuck in Beacon Hills, so we got to spend lots of quality time with them, but we never got to see or meet their master. Of course, Odin doesn't always ride with them. Many of the stories have other Norse deities or even regional psychopomps leading the hunt. But I think Odin was in Beacon Hills due to this scene from Season 6. Here we have Douglas, who has usurped control of the Riders and is ordering them to kill Scott and his friends. The Riders seem ready to obey until Big Sky Daddy speaks up. I think that thunderous command is Odin taking back the reins and doling out punishment to this arrogant Nazi.
I am your leader. Ich bin dein Anführer. Obey me! Gehorcht mir!
Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why Norse Ghost Riders look like cowboys, it's our fault. Neil Gaiman's wonderful novel, American Gods, speculates on how immigrants to America bring their gods with them, and then the gods change shape and appearance due to the ideas and folklore in this new land. In the case of the Wild Hunt, in 1948, American singer Stan Jones cast the Wild Hunt as cowboys damned to ride herd forever across the sky, gathering up souls. It's a very popular song with versions released by various singers and charting in the United States in every decade from the 40s through the 80s. So here and now, Odin's Wild Hunt appears as a bunch of cowboys. Oh wow, this got really long, and there are still a half dozen more gods appearing or at least hinted at on the show, including the most important god in the whole of the Teen Wolf universe. I guess I'll have to do those in a part 2. For now, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and comment and join us next time when we go back to Beacon Hills.